technology has totally revolutionized dairy farming. Fast Milk gives us the tools to provide high quality standard of milk, making sure our equipment is all well taken care of, make sure that those animals are housed and cared for appropriately. They continue to push us with their standards to make sure that it just gets better and better.
For just the third time in franchise history, the Moose Jaw Warriors are off to the Eastern Conference Final after a 5-game series win over the Swift Current Broncos, finishing it off with a 4-2 win here in Game 5. The Moose Jaw Warriors have punched their ticket to the third round of the Western Hockey League playoffs. Congratulations to the Warriors, and congratulations to the Swift Current Broncos on a great season and a hard-fought series. They did not make it easy on the Moose Jaw Warriors here in this one. Welcome to the IKS Media Warriors live postgame show. I'm your host, Marc Smith. We have plenty to go over here tonight as we wrap up the Warriors' 4-2 win over the Swift Current Broncos in Game 5. We will hear from Warriors head coach Mark O'Leary in a little bit. We'll have your out-of-town scoreboard in a little while. We'll get your 3 stars of the game, also your Connexus save of the night. But we will start with the game scoring summary. And for the 5th straight game in this series, the Swift Current Broncos open the scoring. Josh Philman's 7th of the playoffs at 5:32 kicked things off for the Broncos. But then it was Jagger Furcus taking over the game, answering just 38 seconds later with his 7th of the playoffs, and then he gets his 2nd of the night, 8th of the playoffs on the power play at 12:08. And then the Furcus Circus finishes off the hat trick with his 9th of the playoffs at 5:54 into the second period, giving the Warriors a 3-1 advantage heading into the third period. The Broncos started the third on the power play, and they pressed as that period went on. Connor Geekie would eventually get them within 1 with a power play goal, his 6th of the playoffs at 13:27. But then, with the Broncos net empty, Matthew Savoy would seal things, his 7th of the playoffs coming at 19:09, sending the Warriors into the next round. Jagger Furcus, as I mentioned, with the natural hat trick in this hockey game. Denton Matejchuk picks up a couple of assists, and the Warriors skate past the Swift Current Broncos here tonight. The final shots on goal in the hockey game were 39-36 in favor of the Warriors. Moose Jaw's power play doing the damage in this game as well, going 2 for 5, while the Broncos sit at 1 for 4 on the night. So the Warriors pick up a big 4-2 win over the Swift Current Broncos here in Game 5, taking out the Broncos in just 5 games. After losing Game 1 of this series 7-2 here on home ice, the Warriors win 4 straight, including those 2 big games in Swift Current for Games 3 and 4, and then they finish it off here on home ice tonight, picking up the series win, and they will now face the Saskatoon Blades in the Eastern Conference Final. The top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference will meet for the Eastern Conference title starting next week. We'll have some ticket details in just a little bit. Also, with Jagger Furcus's hat trick, the Furcus Circus shirt is back on sale for 24 hours at thecrushcan.com, so make sure you get one of those, and you can wear it proudly during the Eastern Conference Final after Jagger Furcus's natural hat trick. Let's take a look at your 3 stars of the hockey game. No surprise who your first star is Jagger Furcus, but the 2 goaltenders, they had moments in this series where they weren't at their best, but they were stellar here in this one tonight. Jackson Unger, 34 stops in the victory for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Back-to-back 30-save performances for him. And then third star, Reed Dick, 35 saves in the loss for the Swift Current Broncos. He was stellar. This game could have, the Warriors could have put it away much earlier if not for some massive saves from Reed Dick in that hockey game. He was arguably the best player on the ice every night for the Swift Current Broncos. Most consistent, I would say, outside of that 7-2 game where Warriors just kind of poured it on in that second game of the series. But your three stars of the night, Reed Dick is your third star, Jackson Unger second star, and Jagger Firkus is the first star of the night here tonight for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Jackson Unger, as I mentioned, made 34 saves. Let's look at his best of the night with the Connexus save of the night, and it was a doozy late in the third period. Claswell with a good shot, and then Jackson sprawling across to make the second save on Ryland Gould, and then the defenders blocking the shot as well. Or fanning on it was the Swift Current Broncos. Jackson sprawling out, making some saves. It was crazy in the crease. Brenton helping out and then going to block a shot. Just a wild sequence of events, and Jackson Unger was able to keep it out of the net and keep the Warriors in front, eventually going on to win this hockey game. That is the Connexus save of the night for Jackson Unger. 34 save performance for the Moose Jaw Warriors in this one. Let's now head down to the Warriors locker room, where I'm being joined by head coach Mark O'Leary after a big Game 5 victory, taking out the Swift Current Broncos here in the second round and advancing to the Eastern Conference Final. Coach, first off, let's ask, what's the feeling like in the locker room after that big victory?
The feeling is good. The guys deserve it. They played hard. They played the right way, right from our goaltender all the way out. So there's a lot of excitement right now and just anticipation for what's next.
We'll start with the goaltender, Jackson Unger. The past two games, he's really just settled into his game and made some big saves down the stretch in the third period in this one to seal the win. I guess your thoughts on how he performed here in this series.
Yeah, I thought like the team, they all had their moments. Whether it was the first line, second line, third and fourth line, they had their moments in the series where they were big factors. And certainly the last two games, Jackson, had his time to shine. And tonight was his best game of the playoffs for sure. And we did our best to make it interesting there in the third period. But he was calm, he was cool, and he made some real big saves that have us in the position we're in.
Swift Current scores first in this game again, but Jagger Firkus strikes back just 38 seconds later. How important was it to get that response, and then how key was Jagger Firkus' hat trick to this victory?
Yeah, it's a habit that I wish we'd break, giving up the first goal. But again, I love our response, and Jagger's a perfect example of a guy that negative things don't bother him a whole lot. He can jump up and punch back with the best of them, and he had a night as well. He can score goals, we know that, and he picked a good time to get another 3.
A word on the Swift Current Broncos. They did not make it easy on you guys in this series. I guess, what are your thoughts on how they performed as they pushed you guys in all 5 games?
Yeah, they came as advertised. It was no different than the regular season. When you play Swift, you know that they're going to generate offensive opportunities. Really, two similar teams in terms of the skill up front. They have a lot of guys that are going to be pros, and you saw it tonight. They had some real good looks. We had some saves. They missed some nets, but again, it was a close series. I know we won in 5, but there was a lot of games that could have went both ways, and kudos to them. It was a heck of a year for them.
You guys get to take on the Saskatoon Blades now in the Eastern Conference Final. How much are you looking forward to Game 1 next Friday night up in Saskatoon?
Yeah, can't wait. Again, another team that it always seems to just be a good hockey game when we play them. Whether it's early in the season, late in the season, I think both teams bring the best out in each other, and obviously the Calvert brothers will make it a little bit more interesting. But just real proud of the group right now, and thankful for the opportunity to go go up against a good team like Saskatoon.
Well, Coach, congratulations on getting the team to the Eastern Conference Final for just the third time in franchise history, and good luck against the Saskatoon Blades.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you to Warriors head coach Mark O'Leary for joining us here on the post-game show. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have your out-of-town scoreboard, and we'll also give you some ticket details for the Eastern Conference Final. That's next on IKS Media Warriors Live.
Hit the road, Sask, and always come back to see more and more and more and more. Hit the road, Sask, and always come back to see more. Hit the road, Sask, and always come back to see more and more and more and more. Hit the road, Sask, and always come back to see more. And more and more and more and more and more. And more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Yeah!
Welcome back into the Moose Jaw Event Center. We're going through the Warriors' 4-2 win here in Game 5, which sends the team to the Eastern Conference Final. Let's take a look at the Sask Lottery's out-of-town scoreboard. 2 games happening over in the Western Conference here tonight. It's potentially looking like the Western Conference Final could be set after tonight as well. Late in the second period, Prince George has scored 5 times. In that second period, they now lead 6-2 against the Kelowna Rockets. Prince George looking to end that series in 5 games, and the Portland Winterhawks have scored 3 times in the second period. They lead Everett 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. Portland looking for the sweep of the Everett Silvertips in Game 4 there tonight. So if those 2 scores hold up, the Western Conference Final will also be set with the top 2 teams over in the Western Conference also potentially advancing here tonight. So the Warriors have advanced to the Eastern Conference Final for the 3rd time in franchise history. They will open up the series in Saskatoon next Friday night, and then we'll play this Game 2 on Saturday in Saskatoon, and then the series will shift to Moose Jaw for Games 3 and 4, Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, April 30th, Wednesday, May 1st, and you can get those tickets for both games starting tomorrow at the Moose Jaw Event Center box office and online at mjwarriors.ca. Tickets will go on sale at 10 o'clock. The box office will be open 10 to 4 tomorrow here at the hangar. So make sure you head down and get your tickets to those games for Games 3 and 4. And let's pack the hangar. It was rocking in here after that Matthew Savoy goal as the Warriors sealed the victory. Let's make it an intimidating place to play for the Saskatoon Blades going in to the 3rd round and a big showdown between these 2 teams in the Eastern Conference Final. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Warriors picking up the 4-2 win here to take out the Swift Current Broncos in 5 games in the 2nd round, setting up a showdown with the Saskatoon Blades in the Eastern Conference Final. We'll have all of your action here on CHL TV and IKS Media Warriors Live on our social media channels for the MJ Warriors. So make sure to tune in throughout the Eastern Conference Final. But thank you for tuning in tonight here on IKS Media Warriors Live.